Remember how on August 27th this year, we all didn't know who Franco Colapinto was and how we thought he was just going to be another Williams reject? Well, fast forward to today and he's being rumored to race for Red Bull Racing. How did we get here? Seriously, I even said he would flop and I was promptly shut it up. And thank goodness too, since this guy is honestly a really good driver. The way he drives and especially his overtakes is very smooth, but also ambitious. For example, in Singapore, bro just sent an unholy dive bomb and makes it stick, and in Coda, he was cooking drivers left and right as he recovered from 17th to 9th. Now, there is the possibility of him only doing good due to not having anything to lose, since he was signed on to complete the season, not drive next season. So maybe the lack of a burden is helping him, but I like to disagree. I have been enlightened, everyone, and I have made it my mission to show you the vision too, since this guy is so astronomically underrated that these Red Bull rumors may not be all bad for him. But to understand why I think this, we need to look at his career as a whole and see why teams are so head over heels that they'd be willing to drop a driver before his first race or give him one of the most elusive seats in the sport, all for Colapinto. So let me count the story of how Franco Colapinto's speedrun and F1 career. However, before we go any further, don't forget to join the Discord where we have good fun on there and you can even help me out with videos. So go join that and subscribe if you are new if you struggle with the reality of never becoming a professional racing driver. So enough yapping, and here is Colapinto's F1 speedrun route in the career percent category. Colapinto's journey to F1 would start in 2013 at the age of 9, and like all future racing drivers, the first step is karting. His speedrun route would start in some nameless karting competition, and it would be pretty rocky considering he didn't classify, so yeah, tough luck. Anyways, in 2014, he would bounce back in the Argentine Championship, and he would finish 6th here before competing again and finishing 2nd in 2015. So in all honesty, we're moving at a snail's pace, and you probably haven't thought that much about him, but that is for a reason. In a sport full of nepotism and rich kids in a worry-free world, there are few in the sport who come from middle class, which may as well be poverty in the sport, or even some who do come from literally poverty, and that includes drivers like Lewis, like Ocon, like Colapinto. It's no secret that Argentina ain't exactly the richest country and is a huge reason why the sport has seen so few Argentinian drivers, since even karting is such an expensive endeavor. So you know what I say? Cut the kid some slack. Anyways, back to the speedrun. He would continue racing in the same series in 2016, and this time he would cook, since while he would get 10th in a subcategory, in the junior category, he won the entire thing, and with victory comes some sweet, sweet bank. So he would compete in different karting series like the Buenos Aires Regional Championship pre-junior category, that's a mouthful, and he would win that series too. So to continue progressing up the ladder, in 2017 he would compete in the same series except now in the proper junior category, and he won that one too, and this started getting him some eyes. These eyes put him in even more karting series in 2018, and he would pick up even more dubs like the Argentine Championship again and the Olympics? Yeah, that's right. In 2018, there was a Youth Olympics category for karting, and he won the gold medal for that. So, at the age of 14, he is already an Olympic gold medalist technically. Goat things. Anyways, with all these dubs in hand, you have a choice. You can either continue karting or go up the ladder into open wheel cars, and I'm sure you know which option he chose. In 2018, he would compete in the F4 Spanish series for only 4 races, and you know, this is his first dabbling in this, and you should probably take it slow and learn as time goes on. But remember, this is a speed run, and he needs to maximize time and can't afford any time loss. So, in these 4 races, he would take home 49 points, 2 podiums, 2 poles, and 1 win. Damn. So he would obviously have a full season for 2019, and yeah, he won that shit comfortably, taking home 325 points, 13 podiums, 10 poles, and 11 wins. He would start to make his mark in the sport, and to continue cutting time, he would also compete in the Euro Formula Open and Formula Renault Cup championships. However, it seems the Spanish F4 championship tax is real. He would lose big time in these 2 championships since he would keep the bottom of the standings warm, but the Spanish F4 results are still something to go by. So in 2020, he would try again in the Formula Renault Cup and also dabble in the Toyota Racing Series, and he got up thankfully. He finished 3rd in both championships, taking home 3 wins and 17 podiums across both of them, and he would stand ground against some notable drivers in those series such as Victor Martins, Liam Lawson, and Yuki Tsunoda. So these guys got him even more offers to progress. However, a problem appeared in the speedrun. Remember how I said this sport is costly? Well, he ran into financial troubles and couldn't naturally progress to F3 like most. But instead of giving up and going home with essentially nothing to show, he went into endurance, and even though this is not ideal for the speedrun, he is not giving up, and thank goodness. 2021 would be primarily endurance racing, and here he would cook. But I did say primarily endurance though, since he did compete in FRECA this year, and he would also cook here, taking home 2 wins, 3 poles, and 4 podiums, while also competing in endurance like the Asian and European Le Mans series. While he took home no wins in the Asian Le Mans series, he did get 3 poles, 3 fastest laps, and 3 podiums in 4 races, and in the European Le Mans series, he did win 1 race along with 1 pole and 8 podiums. So even though the speedrun to F1 is slowing down, it's not going to waste, and these successes would land him a drive for that year's 24 Hours of Le Mans and 1 other race in WEC, and he would do moderately well too and show good promise, which got him not only eyes, but also sponsors with money. So you know what that means, the speedrun can continue, since in 2022 he would enter into F3 for the first time. He would compete for a full season in F3 in 2022, and it was the only racing he would do that year, so he has to lock in and show how low his balls hang, but unfortunately, they weren't that low. Don't get me wrong, they were low, but not as low as others, since he finished 9th in the standings, but I guess low balls still hang even if they aren't the lowest, since he did nab up 2 wins, 1 pole, and 5 podiums, which kind of makes you wonder, how was he even 9th? Yeah, the 9th place in his standings is really down to unreliability and inconsistency, so as long as he gets the right car, he can produce something sweet and let his balls hang even lower, and luckily for him, a certain driver's academy knew of this too. At the start of 2023, James AEIOU would sign him onto the Williams Driver Academy, which means he gets development services from Williams and some financial backing, so with this newfound help, he would change teams in F3 to a more consistent team, and it showed. In 2023, he took home the exact same results, 2 wins, no poles, and 5 podiums, but finished 4th in the standings this time. This is because the car stopped blowing up or being slow. He was very consistent this season, constantly finishing in the top 10, and this consistent performance will land him a drive in F2 for 2024. Well, technically 2023 first, since he would compete in the last 2 races, but didn't really perform, so I guess we move. Anyways, now in 2024, racing for MP Motorsport again, he needs to bring it home to ensure no major time loss happens again in his route. So, with new regs, how did Bahrain go? Well, not good at first. He would finish 18th in the sprint, but for the feature he would bounce back with a decent 6th place finish. Can he carry this into Jeddah? No. He would score 0 points in Jeddah for both races, but a 4th place finish in the Melbourne sprint would stand for something until a DSQ in the feature would put him right back down. Yeah, things ain't looking too hot right now, and he needs a result in Imola, otherwise he might be cooked. But luckily for him, he did come back. He won the Imola sprint and got 5th in the feature and another 5th at the Monaco sprint. But all good things come to an end, since for the next 2 races, no points before another 2nd in the Catalonian feature and another 2nd in the Austria feature. So key takeaway for now, inconsistent. This guy scored big points or no points at all, but for sure there is potential there for him to perform. He just needs the right circumstances to perform, as does everyone in F2. Anyways, after that 2nd in the Austria feature, he would get some big points with a 5th, a 4th, and a 5th again in the next 3 races, and following those 3 races, no points. F2 is actual garbage. Anyways, everyone knew this kid had something in him, but perhaps not enough. Maybe he will really cook in endurance, but for F1, I don't know. So unfortunately, it seems that the speedrun is over. Too much time has been lost and there's no coming back. Loss is a way of life, and I know he will come back in whatever series he goes into that isn't F1. Huh. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention how Williams at the time employed Logan Sargent, who was a Williams Academy product, and just like most of them, he crashed a whole lot. But he kept costing the team so much that AEIOU had him euthanized and replaced with Colapinto. Speedrun is now saved, and in this segment, time would be saved like you had never seen before. Monza would be his first race, and here he wouldn't score points, but he did have a clean weekend and a nice recovery in the race from 18th to 12th. Baku, however, is where things would change, since Franco finished 8th in the race and scored points for the very first time in his F1 career, and in Singapore, he would perform brilliantly and did some good overtaking, and here, people started to give him shouts of keeping him in F1 for 2025. Coda would help with this too, since he finished 9th in there, and in Mexico, he finished 12th again while Albon kept helping Franco's case. And even though Brazil would not be too good since he did struggle with the rain, he still showed lots and lots of promise in the car with overtaking and pace, which has led to rumors for next season. Major time would be cut here since he got to the point with F1 drivers where top seats are being thrown around them and then midfield seats are being thrown after a period in a top seat, and now it seems likely he will step away from the sport and maybe return in a later year. An entire F1 career in about 3 months. The speedrun has been saved. Okay, speedrun jokes aside, what is next for Colapinto in F1 because it's extremely likely this isn't the end. Well, the current rumors seem to be third driver for Williams next year, Alpine kill Jack Doohan before his first year and put Franco in, or Red Bull replace one Latino with another. Just to get this one out the way, I don't think the Alpine one would happen since surely Alpine aren't that cruel to Doohan, right? Right, everyone? So that leaves Williams' third driver or Red Bull. If he stays at Williams and is the third driver for 2025, he would basically be guaranteed to drive again in a later year, probably when Albon or Sainz leaves, so he could have that security at the cost of being the sport's next Liam Lawson. If he goes to Red Bull, he would have a top seat where he can show just how good and fast he is, but it is at the cost of the media having all their eyes on you since it's a top seat, and of course, Max Verstappen being your teammate. Well, what I think is going to happen is a secret third option. Liam Lawson or Yuki Tsunoda gets promoted to Red Bull, and whoever didn't get promoted stays at VCARB alongside Franco Colapinto. I know, a boring prediction, but it's probably the most realistic and best for everyone. I seriously cannot think of a drawback other than AEIOU not allowing it, but if he really cares about his drivers, I don't think he will reject it, but who knows? Let me know in the comments what you think of his fate in F1. Anyways, that was Franco Colapinto's speedrun route in F1 in the career percent category. Overall, what a phenomenon in the sport. Came from absolutely nowhere and is now loved and respected by most people in the sport. I really hope he stays since I think we as F1 fans should revolt if this guy gets the Lawson, Drugovich, or Pourchaire treatment from AEIOU. Anyways, I want to give a quick thanks to all members of the flock for their support, and if you guys want cool perks and seeing videos early, as well as just helping me out on my journey, make sure to join it. Anyways, don't forget to like and subscribe since that will greatly help me out, and let me know in the comments what you think of Colapinto, and as always, have an amazing day.
Good weather for the duck.